Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Opportunity Zone. I'm Nate Armstrong, joined by
Chris Lavin. How you doing, everybody?
So, Chris, you just got done doing a pretty high-profile interview.
Oh no.
So,
We're not going to talk about that, are we?
so you've been featured twice in the last 7 days.
Yep.
One of them on the #1 podcast in its category,
Correct.
and then just earlier today on Madison Trust's
Correct.
podcast.
Correct.
Any insights that you want to share with folks before we jump into today's news?
Yes. One of the things that I consistently talk about is two of the things actually. One is we got to pay the government what we're due in taxes, but we do not want to pay that sucker a tip. So give to Caesar what is Caesar's. Don't give him more money than you need to. You can learn how to invest with your solo 401k or your self-directed IRA by partnering with Madison Trust, which is a company that we utilize here to allow people to use their retirement funds to invest in properties and not pay taxes on it when capital gains taxes or any other income tax on that while that's being held by their solo 401k. They're great people. I love working with them. I was a customer of theirs long before we ever recommended them, so I know them firsthand. Anyways.
So I'm going to grab that no pay tax thing.
I like the no pay tax thing.
No pay tax. And we've got a couple of topics we're going to talk around that today. They just updated the Opportunity Zone guidelines. So from now till 2034 at least, there have been some revisions made. So if you're looking for more tax-free ways or ways to even take, let's just say, income that you would have been taxed on, capital gains, and park it somewhere so that you don't have to pay capital gains, we're going to talk about that today. Okay. We'll also be going through some housing markets. We're going to do the top 5, which are expected to appreciate, go up in value. We're also going to do the bottom 5.
Do we have to talk about those? A lot of them are in Florida. Do we have to talk about those?
We just got to show the truth. It's just our job.
Sometimes the truth is harsh.
Okay, before we do that, we've got a quick lesson we'll go through, and then we're going to jump into all the news, and let's jump into it. So the lesson that I want to share today is actually on King Solomon. King Solomon, he's a man that is estimated to have a $2 trillion plus net worth in his lifetime. That's like Jeff Bezos plus Elon Musk in wealth. And he was a king in the Middle East, and he did 7 different investment strategies, and I want to highlight them. Okay. So the first one, trade and commerce. He had partnerships with all the kings in the area where basically, 2 of them specifically, he was doing basically gearing up ships, putting men on them, and sending them out doing trade across the Mediterranean. And he was bringing back exotic things. And he made such a high return on investment that they estimated to be somewhere between $1 and $2 billion annually coming in from that maritime venture. The second one, if you're writing these down, there were 7 total. The second one is that he had land-based trade. He was basically the wholesale master of horses in the Middle East, taking horses from Egypt and then wholesaling them to other kings throughout the Middle East. That was quite a lucrative thing for him. Did arbitrage in that area. He also had precious metals and resources, so gold, silver, and other commodities. Chris, are you a gold guy?
I was at one point in my life, not so much. I can make a lot more money in proper real estate investments than I can with gold.
Cool. Some people swear by it, others not so much. During his day, that was the thing. There was no Bitcoin.
Nope.
And they didn't have syndications.
Nope. They did have an arbitrage, though.
Next, one of his 7, this is a biggie, is that he invested in real estate projects.
What?
Surprise,
From
surprise.
way back then? Biblical principles? Invest in real estate?
Thousands of years before BC, this man was doing some pretty big real estate projects. He built one of the biggest temples of his time, the palace. He fortified cities. He invested in a lot of different cities around his country, and they let him expand his economic capacity quite a bit. Last 2, livestock and agriculture. You got a bunch of farm property, Chris?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Okay, that's one of his 7. And then the last one, but not least, is diplomacy. So he invested in relationships. Chris, you got a word on relationships?
Yeah, listen, and based on all of my businesses from the very beginning, I develop relationships and the money takes care of itself. I promise you, if you invest in people with your time, the money comes back your way. It's just the nature of the beast.
Beautiful. Chris, could I ask you to give us a blessing and then we'll jump in?
Absolutely. Heavenly Father, First and foremost, I want to thank you for your presence in my life. Thank you for the many blessings that I have. And I'm not talking about the ones on the outside. I'm talking about the ones on the inside that give me peace and faith and strength that allows me to have relationships with people. And please allow Nate and I to spread some wisdom and experience from the things that we've learned following you so that we can hopefully positively impact the people that are listening to our voice and watching this telecast right now. I pray this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir. All right, so let's get right into it. Very first thing I want to go through is there is a proposal coming right now. What's her name, Chris?
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Marjorie, I'm so sorry. I butchered your name earlier, and I shouldn't have.
It's just from Minnesota. It's
Minnesota
okay.
boy. Yep. But you've got a proposal coming out, and you've made headways with your other proposals. This one is so that investors like you and I, but owner-occupant properties, we would not get taxed when we sell the property, no matter what the gain is. Right now, there's a $500K threshold where you don't get taxed, but what this proposal is from Marjorie is that there's no threshold. You could make $1 million and not get taxed on it. Chris, your thoughts?
I think this is not news for me, right? She's out there flapping her gums trying to make some noise for herself. Here's the reality. I'm one of the people that would likely benefit from the increase in that. And at some point, fair is fair. Everybody seems to have been coming with a $500,000 cap. I just don't. A lot of people are going to be happy. If grandma and grandpa bought a house for $12,000 in 1960 or whatever, and they still have it, they were smart enough to put it in a trust and handle that transaction correctly, that house might be worth $900,000 today, especially if it's up in the Northeast, like in New York or something. There'll be benefit to the family, $300,000. But across the board, I don't know, man. I feel like I got to pay my fair share of taxes. I do. I don't like even saying that, but the reality is I'm wishy-washy on this. I have no really strong opinion for or against. I don't know if people are going to get excited about it. I think this is just one of those things she's trying to seek headlines. That's just me.
Marjorie, get it done. Get it done. I'm all for it. I'm going against what this man's saying. Get it done. Push that puppy through. I'll take less tax on personal residences.
I may not always be right, but I'm always sure.
All right, let's go into some breaking news. We've got a congressman who has been accused of mortgage fraud. Oh, this never happens, does it? So you got Adam Schiff, and remember, this is the man that has led most persecutions of Trump over the last handful of years, whatever it's been. And now Bill Pulte, who runs Fannie Mae, he's saying we're cracking down. Doesn't matter if you're famous, not famous, we're cracking down on anybody that's committing mortgage fraud. And they've got Adam Schiff teed up in the crosshairs right now. Your thoughts, Chris?
My thought is, number one, do not confuse him with Adam Schiff from Law and Order. Not the same guy, okay? Listen, I love when this happens. What I mean by that is I love when public figures that are supposed to be held to a higher level are caught with their head in the cookie jar. I don't like the fact that they're doing it. I like it when they're caught. And I hope they prosecute this guy to the full extent of the law to keep the average, Joe Blow from even running this through and thinking that they can get away with this stuff. Listen, if they'll take down this guy, they will come get you. I'm all for legally not paying taxes. I am all about prosecuting criminals, all about it. So things like this, at the end of the day, the American people pay the price when this kind of stuff goes on. So touche to what's his name, Pulte. Touche to Mr. Pulte for making this happen. I know this is a political witch hunt by Trump because Schiff was after him, and you know what? He grabbed the tiger by the tail, and now he's going to feel what that's like. But I'm glad it's being done.
Yeah, I echo the same feelings. There's just no place, especially in elected leaders. All right, let's go to something that Pulte just dropped on us about a week ago. Chris, you helped us dissect some of the credit score changes that were coming down the pipeline, this whole Vantage 4.0, and now Pulte's releasing a lot of white paper statements, kind of like this one, kind of outline it. What's the biggest takeaway for people with this credit score change? Like, is it going to dramatically change things?
It's not. Vantage 4.0 actually does. It's more biased in the favor of the people who are the blue-collar people, first-time homeowners. If you look at the structure of the algorithm, at least the publicly released parts of it, you see that there's more impact more positive impact for if you've been a good guy, you've been paying rent for years, that's all reported, it increases your credit score. But what this whole article is about is really about demographic and census information being reported to Freddie and Fannie so that they can categorize where their loans are falling with credit scores and the correlation between the two. It's a bunch of stuff that's happening in the background. It's necessary. It's not big news. It's not really going to affect you and I. It's nothing really to be concerned about, but it's part of the process.
So with the new kid on the block, this new scoring
Vantage
system,
4.0.
Vantage 4.0 coming in, know that there's still an additional 2 years where lenders that are writing loans, they have the choice of using the new one or the existing legacy platform. So we're probably not going to see an overnight flip.
No, because you know what happens is Vantage is, like I said, more biased to the guy that doesn't have existing credit but can prove that he's a good risk. So that's what Vantage 4.0 does. But remember that the amount of interest you're charged is based on your credit score. So the lower the bank can keep your credit score but still approve your loan, the more money they can get out of you. So anything that they can do to keep their profits up, they're going to do. Banks are not in the business of helping people. They're in the business of making money, including the Fed.
My credit union lied to me, Chris.
They did.
They lied. Okay, let's jump over to what's happening with opportunity zones because there's some big changes, and actually some of the changes they're trying to say that they're being reshaped for red states only, but let's get into some of the nuances on this. We've got, it says GOP reshapes opportunity zones to target Trump country. What's going on with the reshaping and how is it going to affect folks?
How is it going to affect folks? Joe, average American, it's going to be a trickle-down effect, right? So what they're trying to do is to keep the governors from handpicking the zones to most benefit their dare I say, biggest contributors to their political funds, right? So one of the things that they're getting rid of is that as cities or suburbs are developed, the closest rich area, for lack of better terms, to impoverished areas were what was being selected, so that the rich areas or the better economically biased areas would grow. They're stopping that. Like, they're making it so that the governors can't pick these choices for, because let's face it, if I invest $3 million at the edge of a zone that's getting better, or if I invest $3 million like in the middle of an economically depressed or ghetto type area, my risk of return at the edge of an economically stable area is much better than any kind of risk that I have in the ghetto or the socially economically deprived areas. So what they're doing is they're trying to make it so that the governors can't handpick these areas to make them opportunity zones to most benefit the people with all the money in the area, to try and level the playing field. And in my opinion, this really helps with taking fraud out of the whole deal. And you line the governor's pocket, and all of a sudden your pocket's getting lined. That good old boy network that makes it so difficult to break into and do good business. So I'm really for this.
Chris, you saw this firsthand. We're here in West Palm Beach.
Yep.
It's our headquarters. And you saw this. What
Yeah.
did you see?
I think it's disgusting, right? So there's $1 billion. So the way West Palm Beach goes, as you go down towards Riviera Beach, there's like a line where, just as I described, economically impoverished versus lots of money. And literally, they tacked on to this economically beneficial area. They tacked on and expanded that opportunity zone and built like a $300 million or $400 million tower of condos, and it's going to turn out making the investors like $1 billion of profit on this deal. So these guys really benefited from, I'm not going to say that they put any money in the governor's pocket, but I'm saying they put some money in the governor's pocket, if you know what I mean. So that zone got granted to them, and there was no risk because it's right there on the edge of a social and economically biased or economically plush area. And it's just disgusting because I was really disappointed by that. And that's right here in my hometown, right? I was really disappointed by that kind of thing going on because I feel the investment should be made into the people, into the places that truly need it. 3 blocks down the road or 2 miles down the road, investing that same kind of money would have had such a better impact on the community, but not as much benefit to the investors. I mean, we got to have investors making money, but this is just disgusting to me. Just absolutely disgusting to me.
So the revisions that we're talking about here, this is a positive thing.
In my opinion.
It's taking away that, good old boy network of ability to just grant, that district, we're going to grant that one. No longer can that be the case.
Positive for the general public, but not positive for the investors that are doing it. That's for dang sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm all about, helping people and making money at the same time rather than it's all about the money.
So for folks looking to invest in opportunity zones in general, they're going to be in a little bit more rural areas, likely, going into the future. That's probably where they'll get targeted. And then when you have gains, let's just say you sold a business or something else, and I'm not a tax professional, so I can't give you personal advice, but when Chris and I are looking at potential deals, we're looking at them saying, okay, if people have gains and they're going to invest into this deal, what are the tax ramifications? What are the benefits? And there's huge benefits for building ground up construction.
Yes.
And there's, I don't want to say limited, but there's some benefits for existing construction if you're doing substantial improvements to it.
Yep.
So we're looking at both as we go into the future. We'll keep you posted when we find something that's interesting, but opportunity zones are in play at least till 2034.
And they don't mean like the Tuesday show at 3 p.m.
If the what?
They don't mean the Tuesday show at 3 p.m.
What do you mean?
The opportunity zones.
Oh, no. This guy.
Sorry, I can't help myself. I'm in a lot of pain, and so I gotta just keep myself laughing.
Okay, let's go over to talk about the residential market for a moment.
I don't want to talk about this.
I'm going to put up Chris's home state here. We're going to put up Florida on the board, and I want to talk a little bit about the actual data. So what's going on right now is in this part of the country, which is basically the Sun Belt right here, you have forecasting right now that's saying we're going to decrease in value, okay? Whereas we've got kind of the tale of two housing markets over in this part of the country, which these are cities like Baltimore, Philadelphia, San Francisco, New York, Washington, Chicago, Minneapolis, Boston. That part of the country is expected to see some appreciation still. So it's really two different housing markets going on.
Well, can I say this? The people from the Northeast, New York by Florida. This is what was going on like 3 years ago. Like the values were plummeting in New York or the Northeast and rising in Florida, and now we got the other way around. And a lot of it has to do with people are required to go back into the office now, and so living geographically anywhere you want and working remotely is not as beneficial to as many number of people. Some people it's still beneficial. I've always worked from home in the past 20 years, so it makes no difference to me. But man, this really just hurts. Really hurts, especially Miami, because that's a market we're looking to get into. But the good news is this is not multifamily. This is single family, right? This is our multifamily window and what it looks like. And if you see over there, right there, that's a bounce, baby. And we're at the bottom of the bounce climbing out. And so multifamily is going up in prices for sure. And the benefit is going to be great. Now, I want to note one thing, especially specific to the Miami market. The house prices are coming down, but it's not on the houses that are $300,000 or $400,000. It's the houses that are multi-million, right? Orlando, Florida, same thing, $500,000 plus. It's a problem market, hot market still at that $300,000 to $500,000 range. So it's specific segments in these markets that are being affected, and it's the top end of the market, which is another reason, right? And if you just follow that logic, we don't invest in A properties generally. We like that B2C property because that's where the guy that's making $60,000, $50,000 a year has and needs a safe place to live, right? That's that B market, that C plus market. That's the sweet spot for us because it's less affected by these fluctuations in the economy. So we invest in safe assets just as a result of those kinds of things. We're not nearly affected nearly as much as the general populace because of these numbers.
Spot on. I'm just going to put up this data one more time in a different view. This is multifamily. Again, completely different than the residential market. Multifamily crashed. Okay, it crashed once back in 2008. This is the bottom of the trough, 2008. Then it started coming up. And then it crashed in 2024. 2023, it started at the very end of the year. 2024, it hit. And now we're coming up. That's where you can see us right here. We did the bounce. We're coming back up. But we're still deeply discounted in multifamily. So if you're trying to find the right opportunity in real estate investments, most savvy investors buy the dip. This is the dip, and we've already got proof that it's coming up right now.
So listen, I want to interject something here. This bad boy is going to climb nearly as fast as it climbed over here, if not faster, right? As a result of a couple of things. One of the things that's going to stimulate this growth, I'm sorry, I'm talking so fast I get passionate about this. One of the things that's going to stimulate this growth is the big, beautiful bill, right? And the benefits, the tax benefits that are there for multifamily residential specifically, or especially even, is that 100% bonus depreciation that is now back in effect. So we've got accelerated depreciation, which is faster than commercial real estate, multifamily is. And then we have that bonus depreciation. So you're going to start seeing these values skyrocket.
Yeah, a lot of money's moving right now.
Mm-hmm.
Lots. Speaking of, we actually had an investment opportunity, but it completely filled up. I'm going to pop it up here. This is our Green Bay property. This beautiful asset, we put it out, and you guys, our investors, welcome. We filled up. We are oversubscribed officially. We have a wait list. If you'd like to get on the wait list for our next deal, and keep in mind, when we bring a deal, you guys know us, those of you guys that have been here for a while, you know that when we bring a deal, it's a killer deal. Chris and I we just don't have time to mess with anything of mediocrity. We're going for killer deals only, and this one was a killer deal. If you'd like to get in on the next killer deal that we have, there will be a link in the chat. You can click on that link. You can book a call with us. Let us know what your investment goals are, and our team will put you on the wait list, and you'll be first to hear about the next opportunity once we get it. Chris, is it cool if we give away a little gift?
Let's do it.
So Chris got featured on this podcast. They're in talks right now with Chris about making a movie on his life. It's really cool stuff. I won't get into all of it right now, but he had two really big Hollywood actors that you would know their names in the last week and a half reach out to talk about his story. And anyway, so he's been getting some buzz and getting invited to speak on different platforms. And today he spoke on Madison Trust, and we made a little gift for Madison Trust that I think could help a lot of you guys. If you're interested in how you can land in safe deals and avoid potential pitfalls of passive investing, we have a book that's put together right here. I'm going to scroll up on it so you can kind of see it. And it's called the 5 Landmines of Passive Investing. And I'm going to drop this link in the chat for you guys. If you're seeing us on social media and you don't see any of the links that I'm talking about, just put link in the comments and our team will fire it over to you. So here it comes.
You click in the chat.
There you go. So that's to get that book. It's free. It's just a gift from Home Invest, and hopefully it adds some value to your life and your investment portfolio. Mr. Chris, anything that you'd like to say as we wrap up?
You know, I just want to say this. Today I've decided to focus on the blessings in my life and live in the gratitude around the things that are going on. You know, and I get that way because everything that I do, my goal in life is to affect the world in a positive place. And when we have the blessings to be able to help people and earn a few dollars at the same time, the emotion and the gratitude is absolutely overwhelming. And from that, I have absolute joy in my life, and I wish that for you. So I get that by reaching out, helping other people, and by being grateful for everything that God has done for me. I wish that for you today.
Thanks, guys. Believe in more.
God bless.